6-year-old rolled down the hill so many times at school the other day that he threw up.
No!
And we're thankful for that.
And I just say, you know what? Bless those teachers.
Thank you, teachers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for dealing with that. At least he was outside.
Yeah.
All right, I'm thankful for that.
Welcome to Hallway Conversations. We're a trio of educators who have plenty of questions about teaching and learning and school culture, and we believe in the value of collaboration and reflection as we seek to keep growing as teachers. So this podcast is our place for thinking out loud together about issues in education and why they might matter to Christian educators. Welcome to the conversation.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hallway Conversations. My name's Matt Beamers.
I'm Dave Mulder.
I'm Abby DeGroat.
As always, we want to thank you for allowing the three of us to be here with you, and we want to thank you for joining us in the hallway. Each week, one of us brings a question, and we try to think creatively around it in the context of what it means to teach and lead Christianly. For our American listeners, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and hope that the next few days provides you with some Sabbath rest and whatever else you stand in need of. For all of you, we hope that you are able to keep pressing on as we journey to Christmas break and the manger over the next few weeks. Abby, I believe you are coming with a question today.
Yeah, so we all have a lot going on, and so I just think this week if we could do something a little lighter related to education or not, what are you thankful for? I know it's cliche, but I think it's also worthwhile.
The perfect question.
So,
Yeah.
what are we thankful for?
I'm just going to say I like the question partly because I do think, probably like our listeners, we're pretty exhausted.
Yeah.
And to think creatively about
What am I
in-depth
thankful?
topics, like whether it's assessment or classroom management, feels like a lot of work
It
right
does.
now. So I'm grateful
Yes.
for the lightness of
Yeah.
this question.
You're welcome.
You know,
Yeah.
can I speak into that? So I've had several meetings with students just in the past 2 days where it is clear to me they are barely hanging on by their fingernails.
Yeah.
And for me to be able to say that to them too, it's like, we're going to make it. You guys,
Yeah,
we are for you and not against you.
yes.
Yeah.
And for them to hear that, but that made me think too, I'm thankful for my students. Like, I'm thankful that they are willing and able to walk into my office and sit down in the chair and just say, Dr. Mulder, I'm struggling. And for me to be able to come alongside them and to pray with them and to say, we're going to make this. You're going to get through this, right?
I got a Thanksgiving card from a student yesterday.
What?
I know.
That's so great.
I know.
Come
Isn't
on.
that great?
Of course she
It's my
did.
Did you get a
favorite.
Thanksgiving
I did
card?
not. I did not get a
also
Thanksgiving
It's a first for me.
Oh, well.
But it was wonderful, and
Yeah.
it spoke to, it made my whole day,
yeah.
right? Like that she could tell that I found enjoyment in my work, and that just her naming that was wonderful for me.
And
I really
something
appreciated
to
it.
rejoice and be thankful for.
Yes,
That, right?
yes, and that too. I'm thankful I have work that's easy for me to show, right?
Yeah.
And that's not fake.
Yeah. No, I
I
said
don't have to work at that. So.
no, and I see that in both of you that you exude that when I've been in your classroom, right? Like I know, Dave, you've coined the phrase "we get to do this," but there is that sense, right? And I think when even just sitting here, right, like reflecting on that, even thinking about our relationship with the three of us, and that we get to do this, but it just strikes me as I'm sitting here. I didn't know either of you 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Right? And it's so just the deep thanks for being in a new place with new relationships that have, gone from, literally starting in the hallway and kind of asking questions and just watching relationships with you and others in the department and on the faculty and in the community as those have deepened. And I said to our friend Tim this morning, no institution is perfect, and the institution we work at is not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all fall short, but overall, like I am just really thankful for this place. I'm thankful for the people, for the faculty, for the staff. Leaving yesterday, watching a couple of guys on lawnmowers, and just picking up leaves, and then the people in the commons and. Which is where, the cafeteria where our students eat, and just all the people that are the lifeblood of this place. Yeah. And so much of that goes unseen, and yet we're all working together, to fulfill the mission and vision. And I just am really thankful to be part of a school and an institution whose mission and vision I feel really strongly about. Like I know too many people who can never actually say that they feel like, man, I am all in on the mission and vision of a place, and I don't say that lightly, to be honest. I'm thankful to be in that place. So I guess that's one of the things that comes to mind, to work in a place where you feel like, man, the things that this school is on about, and the things that I put high value on, and as a person, as a disciple of Jesus, as a teacher, man, when you find a place where those things come together, that's deep gratitude. It's a big deal. It is a big deal.
That's right. Yeah.
How about you, Dave? What's going sort of? You mentioned your students,
right? Well, one of the things that I'm thinking about, and I know like our audience being people in education, right? So often at our family supper table, we have devotion time together as a family, and praying for different things going on in our lives, and how often I give thanks for my kids' schools, the schools that they have the opportunity to be part of, the people who are speaking into their lives on a daily basis. And yeah, I just think that probably some of the folks listening here, you actually teach my kids. And so, hey, thank you. I'll just say it. Thank you for what you do. That, again, having worked in Christian schools for a long time now, I know the work is often thankless. And that doesn't mean we can't still be grateful and have gratitude for the work that we get to do being in those places. But I just feel a sense of that I am grateful for the opportunity that I have to have my kids in a Christian school, and the difference that that's making for their own faith formation on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, going off of that, I'm definitely with you there. We had to just send in pictures to our church. Our church always does like a photo collage during our Thanksgiving service. So all the families send in pictures of what they're thankful for, right? And I chose the one of my kids outside their school on their first day, right? So I deeply resonate with that. And I also think we were with friends this weekend, and I just kind of, who don't work in education, and I just said, you guys, we are very also blessed that our schools are running as smoothly as they are.
Yeah.
And I'm very aware that there are other places in this country and other countries where schools are struggling to find help. I mean, they're going online because they can't keep teachers. There are, we kind of live in a pocket where COVID isn't affecting us on a day-to-day basis as much as it is in other places. I'm just deeply grateful for the normalcy my kids are experiencing right now. And I know I don't say that lightly, because I know it's not the same everywhere.
Right.
So,
but to feel that sense of gratitude for that in the face of an ongoing pandemic, that it's not having that kind of daily impact on my kids' lives.
But their teachers too. Give them a medal.
It's a lot. Yeah,
my 6-year-old rolled down a hill so many times at school the other day that he threw up.
No.
And we're thankful for that.
And I just say, you know what? Bless those teachers.
Thank you, teachers.
Thank you. Thank you for dealing with that. At least he was outside. All right, I'm thankful for that.
I'm thankful that he's in a place where he gets to do that.
Yeah,
where he gets to have fun
and where their
himself.
Secretary has my cell phone, and
she can
can call me. And,
No, I think I've been really, really just aware of, just the hardness of our, what our teachers are going through in a K-12. Just being newer here and having teachers going through, a bit of a different reality than what we're experiencing where we're located. And things are just, there's miles to go still, and just hearing stories of teachers who just keep pressing on, who are finding creative and imaginative ways, and but also, and in saying that, also wanting, at some level, wanting teachers for it to also be okay to name the hardness of it, right? It is a hard thing, and so I want to just name that too, right? To say for teachers who don't have a creative bone left in their body, and it's hard to imagine something different, just to acknowledge that, and just even think, just in the United States, it's American thing. It's Thanksgiving coming up, and so schools are off for a couple of days, and just my prayer for teachers is that they can somehow insulate themselves from school and those responsibilities, and that's not going to be a reality even for all of our teachers. They're going to be living, So just like that's why I guess I'm thinking of the phrase that teachers can be provided with whatever they stand in need of. I don't want to assume what that is, but man, I'm thankful for that. My daughter went to a readers theater club at the local high school yesterday. Yeah. That's a big deal for her to take a risk like that. And why'd she do it? Well, because of the teacher. Because the teacher that she felt safe with, that she's developed a relationship with in the first couple months of this school year. Didn't really know her before this year. And to be able to see your daughter who's new in a place, that's someone that she trusts enough to take a risk in such a way, man, I just give thanks. And as I say that, I just want to, for teachers to know that you are that person for a student in your class, right? You may not even know that. Like this teacher may not even know that she's the reason my daughter's able to step out, but just to have the confidence and trust that you are that person for a student.
My 5th grader was very interested in what her teachers had to say after parent-teacher conferences, right? So even the second-hand speaking into, well, like her opinion of them is so high that she needed to know, from my perspective, what they were saying, so that, because she just holds them in such high esteem.
That's really cool to hear that too, right? Like that there's that level of wonder in the kids, right? Because they hold their teachers in such high regard. My 3rd grader
didn't ask.
Yeah. Okay,
but
that's
that firstborn man, she
wants
wanted to know.
Yeah. I never wanted to know what my teachers said. I could guess what my teachers were saying about me. So, Dave, I see you holding the book in your hand. What do you got there?
The joy here is that we were recording this in my office, and so when Abby said what the question was, I went digging through my file cabinet a second. I pulled out this little tiny blue book. It's maybe 5 inches by 4 inches. It's just a little book. And this is something, it was a gratitude journal that I started writing when I was in grad school. And I had heard this discipline before, and maybe you heard this before, and maybe our listeners have done this too. The idea being we can always find things to express gratitude for. No matter what is going on in our lives, we can always find things to be grateful for. And when I was in grad school, I really was grappling with that because you all know I'm a pretty positive person by nature, but
grad school will do that to you.
It's a grind. And to find small things every day. And so that was the discipline I set for myself, and I would carry this little book with me everywhere I was going, and I would just write down 3 things every day. No matter what was going on in the day, 3 things every day. And it's the whole range, so I'm just flipping through it here. And it's so funny to see this, right? So this was on January 11, 2017. Today I'm thankful for black coffee and my Mad Genius mug. And I had a mug that says Mad Genius on the side of it, right? I had this one, March 13, 2017. Today is the day I defend my dissertation at 5:30 this evening. I'm excited and anxious, but I'm also feeling grateful to be finishing well. Right? Here it is. On March 23 of 2017, my car wouldn't start yesterday morning. Dead battery. Wouldn't take a charge at all. I was so frustrated. But I'm grateful that I've learned enough about what to do to fix this myself. Got a new battery, all good again. Right? And it kind of becomes like this little thing. Like I remember that. That's 5 years ago. And I remember that day. Now,
the way you can turn that.
Yeah. And even the hard things that there's an opportunity. And I don't want to sugarcoat this. I don't want to silver lining it, right? Like the last 2 years have been absolutely devastating for teachers, for educators, right? It has been so hard. So hard. But yet I find myself, there are still things I'm grateful for in the face of how hard things have been. I hope our listeners can find some sense of that too. And maybe this is a discipline that I need to go back to and continue on in those days where I'm feeling really frustrated. Maybe to just take some time to reflect and write down 3 things. And they can be small things. Hey, today I'm thankful for chocolate chip cookies and that Matthew brought me one. Like that, that kind of a thing. It doesn't.
My daughter is so good at this.
Right?
Like, isn't that?
Right.
That childlike faith, right? Her nighttime prayers are filled with things like polka dots and that she's thankful for, right? Yeah. And, she just got asked to write a prayer for Thanksgiving service that included balance beams. And, right,
marvelous.
That she's, I think, too, that's a wonderful way to pluck out the things that God cares about, too, right? That He puts in our lives.
And I love the way you said that, Abby, because I think that's the thing. Like, sometimes I feel like in our prayers, can we bring all these little things? Like, does God really care about this? I think He really does, in a childlike way, to say, God, this is where I'm at today. This is the struggle that I have in my life today. Help me with this, God. And then to be able to give thanks that He hears if nothing else, to be thankful that God hears your prayer and that
Right.
He's with you, His Spirit's present with you.
Right.
All right, I'm going to put you guys on the spot. We're going to do the 3 things here.
Oh boy.
Okay, this is unscripted.
No.
So I'm just going to keep talking here for a couple of seconds while you think about this, and it can just be very simple, but just 3 things that come to mind. You had to list them without explanation. Abby, I'm going to pick you to go first. 3 things that you're thankful for this day.
My mom and my aunt are packing my kitchen as we speak.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right.
We're moving.
There's
this weekend.
one. There's
Yep,
one.
So I'm thankful for that. I really like this sweater. Can you say
All
that?
right.
Yeah.
It's new.
We'll put a link in the show notes.
Yeah,
for it
right?
too. All right. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see. I love stuffing. I am looking forward to eating stuffing this weekend.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. So
Yes.
packed kitchen, a warm sweater,
Yeah.
and eating stuffing.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Dave.
Okay,
3 things.
so I'm wearing my Boise State blue Chuck Taylors, and as silly as this is, I am thankful for Converse All Stars. They're my favorite shoes, and I wear them all the time.
Hey, I said a sweater.
Yeah, okay,
Silly.
it's not.
Yeah.
Something that's maybe a little bit deeper. I am so thankful for my son, who is studying at this institution this year, and the fact that he swings by our house regularly just to give an update on how things are going. And he doesn't need to do that, but I'm grateful that he checks in and gives us that update. And I'm grateful that we're getting together with my family. My folks moved to town here a little more than a year ago now, and I'm just grateful that we get to more easily and more readily spend holidays with them.
That's good stuff.
I would say 3 things for me is there's a local coffee shop called the Fruited Plain in the town that we live in.
Love this place.
And I'm just really thankful that a place like that exists here. It's a place where we go for coffee in the morning, where we gather on Thursday afternoons with friends, faculty, and staff. So I'm just really thankful for the Fruited Plain. I am thankful that my daughter, who lives many, many miles and hours away and has never been able to visit us in this new place, is coming at Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
I could cry just talking about that. And the last thing I guess I'm thankful for is last night it was a chilly evening, but there was no wind, and I sat outside around a fire drinking a glass of wine on a cold Iowa November night. And that just filled me with a lot of joy last night. So
Delightful.
it was delightful is the right
We
word.
have much to give thanks for.
Yeah.
We do.
Friends, we know your time is valuable, and we want to thank you for joining us today for another hallway conversation. So whether it is this day, this week, this month, we do hope that the Lord gives you what you stand in need of. We want to thank you for the good, God-delighting work that you're doing in your schools and communities. And as you go into this week, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace and give you peace and give you peace. Amen. Have a good week, everyone. Thanks for listening, and have a good Thanksgiving.
This podcast was quite literally dreamed up during one of our actual hallway conversations. Our music is by Ethan Mulder. Hallway Conversations is an independent podcast created and produced by Matt Beamers, Abby DeGroat, and Dave Mulder. Thanks for listening.